Okay, hello. I am so excited as I am here with James Zheng. He is in California and he has taken his precious time to spend with us to tell us a little bit about a book and a program that he has and just his expertise with Partner Co and with the drops. So first of all, James, welcome. And what is the temperature there in California so we can all be jealous?
It's a really chilly 65 degrees Fahrenheit. I know. It's
So
tough.
last night we got to negative 100, negative 12.
It must have felt like negative 100.
Yeah, I did. But anyway, I am so excited you are here. You are the person that I've known that has been with the drops the longest. So can you tell me a little bit about the Slenderiiz Drops
Yeah.
and what you've seen along this whole process that they've come out?
It's kind of crazy, Amy. First, thank you for the honor of being here. And shout out Roots right away. So even though I've been involved with the drops for 13 years, when it comes to anyone that talks about homeopathy, I have yet to find anybody that describes it and understands it as well as you do. So
Awesome.
anytime that you are teaching anything, your courses, programs, everything, I'm just like, wow, like I wish I knew you in the beginning. That would have been like life so much easier. But yeah, when I first got introduced, this was back in 2012. I was one of the first ones that heard about this thing, and I was automatically skeptical because now the drops are a little bit more known, and also holistic health is a little bit more known than 10 years ago. My mindset at the time was I was at first training to become a medical doctor, so I was going to UC Berkeley, studying
Wow.
biology. Yeah, my whole life I grew up thinking drugs and pills are the way to go. I thought supplements were expensive urine, like it's like they're not going to work, placebo, all that. Like I'm the most negative prospect you would ever find. But we heard about these drops. They were actually known as Project Secret Sauce. They came in these brown boxes. It looked really shady and
Really?
stuff. Yeah, no joke.
Not the way it is now?
Not at all. Not as sexy as what it is now. But we heard about it. And what really got me, Amy, was first, I did have one. Like, I wanted to drop some stubborn fat. My personal goal was I always wanted to have abs in my life because I grew up a chubby kid. And, I'm like 22 at the time. So, I want to have a girl, that type of stuff, and a
Right.
self confidence type of thing. But actually, what it was also the clinical trials. And I had a
Okay.
chance to read the papers, and I'm the type that I have to know how it works. Testimonials aren't enough for me, at least. And when I read
Right.
about homeopathy, even though I didn't understand it at first, I saw the legitimacy behind it. I saw the science, and I'm like, I guess this will work, and use it. And I lost 25 pounds in 40 days with no exercise. I got the abs that I was looking for, and I've kept it since. I think that's a big thing with the program. People keep it off as long as you continue to follow the things that the program talks about as well too. And it absolutely changed not just my physical being, my cravings change. I'm Asian. I don't eat rice anymore. My parents are like, "What's wrong with you?"
You
And
don't
it's
eat
just
rice
been.
anymore?
I don't crave it. I don't want it. White rice, it feels weird now. It feels like boxed cardboard or something. It's yeah, no, it
Wow.
ruined me. It ruined me in a good way.
And you're still accepted into the community, I hope.
Yeah, actually, we're converting them, and they're like,
Okay.
"Wow, we can do without rice." It's like
Right.
it's fun.
Right. That's huge, huge. And noodles and all that, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, well, wonderful. So I was wondering, along this process, I know you have been able to help. Do you have any idea how many people you've been able to get on the drops?
Gosh, thousands, tens of thousands, lots of
Okay.
people. Yeah,
And
it's been amazing.
what have you usually seen? What are most people experiencing?
Most people, and it's been amazing because seeing them for 13 years, it's the same results that we're kind of used to seeing now still, which is double the weight loss, which is what they found in the clinical trials, lowered cravings, better energy. But I think the big change I have noticed is it started kind of actually, it was more of a male product in the beginning. It was guys that was using it, ironically, right?
Yep.
Now, in the last couple of years, women, especially around the perimenopause and menopausal ages, they have found so much results when it comes to helping them, not making a claim, this is what they say, but helping them with their cycles. I heard, so just yes, I hear this all the time, but just yesterday, someone in their 50s messages me and says, James, I don't know what happened, but I have not had a cycle for a long time. And now I have a cycle again, which is a good thing. It means their body's normalizing and balancing. And I'm just like, hot flashes gone, these types of things. So
That's
that's what I'm
huge.
seeing a lot more now. Yeah, huge.
Wonderful. Okay, well, thank you. I did want to ask, I wanted to congratulate you on your baby boy.
Thank you.
And is he 4 months old?
4 months old. Yeah.
Okay, so I was wondering how your life has changed with this business now that you have this sweet baby boy in your
Yes.
life.
Thank you. Well, baby Jaden has been a miracle child. On a couple of notes, it's been interesting. First, I on a drop note, I don't want to make a claim because this is kind of, don't want to get everyone's hopes up. But I will say we had an infertility journey for 5 years
Oh,
and
wow.
we tried all the stuff. And Becky, my wife, she's super healthy, right? She's been on the products for a long, long time. And we tried all the holistic things. We tried acupuncture, we tried all these different
Wow.
stuff, and like nothing was working. And my wife purposely for the last 5 years has not used the drops because the thought is if I want to get pregnant, then I don't need to lose weight, right? So
Right.
we kind of gave up, to be honest. And, God shows up typically when we give up with our own strength on things.
Yes.
And she used the drops for a month. She felt good. We went on a vacation in Australia. We came back and we found out that she actually got pregnant. And it was literally at the end of the month of when she used the drops. So
Wow.
I'm not saying the drops are what helped her with her fertility, but I am saying that was a massive coincidence. And I have heard that story now, actually, even as early as this last week as well, too, a 5-year infertility journey. They use the drops and they're like, I don't know, it just happened. So, side note, anywho, but our lives have
That's
changed.
incredible information. Thank you.
It's crazy. It's just, it's you know a lot more about this than I do to understand the complexity about it. But especially with women, there's so much that's going on. And if you can just balance your body and make it feel better, then things start to kind of work in a cool way. But yeah, life has definitely changed. Business has definitely changed. It's made me super grateful for what our business can do.
Okay.
Um, I think we all say that we want flexibility, we all want freedom. And we're the types that we love work. Like we love what we do. We have a lot of energy, we have a lot of ambition. But when baby Jaden was being born, my wife, she had a high risk pregnancy actually, and she was in the hospital for quite a bit of time. Baby Jaden was born 6.5 weeks early. So we're in the NICU. Then we
Right.
got out and then we went back in. So the first 60 days, 40 of the 60 days, we were in the NICU.
Oh my
So
goodness.
it was super disheveling, right? It was just like, oh my gosh, we don't have time. During that, we were so grateful. It's a whole saying of build your ark before you need it. And our business still continued and it still paid and it still lasted us through that time. And we were able to enjoy the time with baby Jaden there. And now afterwards too, we're able to be at home and I'm able
Right.
to,
And
after this
focused.
changes, yeah, it's like able to do the things that we need to do. So, gosh, this business is powerful on what it's able and enables you to do, especially as a parent.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you so much. Well, that leads me to my next question. I know that you and Becky have been very successful in what you've been doing with Partner Co, and you've been part of them for years. You're a chairperson 2 level, is my
Correct.
understanding. Is that correct? Okay. Can you tell us about how that journey has been for
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. Ups, downs, and all around. It's probably the best, the best way to describe it. No, but I would actually say it's faith in action. That's probably the
Okay.
best way I would describe entrepreneurship, but especially network marketing as well too. Because the reality is we sucked for a long time trying to do this business. I was so shy I couldn't
I
order
can't
food groceries.
imagine that with you all.
Thanks. And anyone, right? But the reality is with you and homeopathy, with anybody with anything good, I think sometimes we forget that it takes people time to master anything. But the difference is that if you master network marketing, you get to have the ability to master and write your own paycheck with flexibility with it. I was originally going to be a medical doctor. So, and nothing against medical doctors, but that would have been
Right.
10 years of school, lots of debt, lots of stress, which is not the lifestyle that I would want. It takes 10 years at least to become a doctor, right? To be
Right.
licensed. This business, hey, it takes some time to get it down, but once it clicks, it really does do amazing. So it arise, the first part, and we got to a multiple six-figure business, and life was amazing. And then it wasn't, and life happens. And I
Right.
think those are when the true tests happen. And that's a fact and a reality of life. And as soon as we lost almost everything in our business because of some changes that happened, our finances got wrecked and ruined. We had to sell our home, our cars. I mean,
Wow.
my ego was in the
Sorry.
floor. Yeah, it was crazy, but it was the best thing that happened because that's when you dig in and you ask yourself the questions of what really matters to you. And what changed the game for me, at least, it was faith. That was the number one thing. I didn't, when I joined network marketing, I was not a person of faith, but
Really?
yeah, my mentors were people of faith, and I saw they had peace about them and they were successful. I'm like, there's something different. And they introduced me to Jesus, and I'm like, all right, let's try on this Jesus thing. Let's see what's going on. And I think there's a saying that you meet Jesus on your way up, but you really get to know him on the way down.
You're grasping.
Yes. Yes. And that's exactly how I felt. And I asked myself this question. I said, Lord, if you were to build this business your way, like what would that look like? And I never thought to ask that question because, you're in business, we have all these personal development books and self-help and all these things, and they're helpful. But what happens when self-help isn't helpful anymore? God's help is
Right.
so much better, right?
Right. You can only
And
do so much in yourself, right?
it is. It is. So the second chapter wasn't overnight, but I started really diving into what the Bible says about success, about money, about relationships, about all these things, about culture. And the Bible has everything to say about everything, actually. God figured it out. And the last 7 years have been nothing more than exceedingly abundantly more than I could ever ask or imagine. Our business this last year literally 10x in sales, and it was just nuts. And I'm like, I know I'm not that smart. God is smarter. So
Right.
it's been a
Right.
fun journey.
Oh, wow. Well, I know that you have a book and you have a course. And my understanding is it's How to Succeed in Business God's Way. Did I get that correct?
Yes.
Did I get the title
Yes.
correct? Can you tell me what motivated you when you wrote this book, when you came up with this course, and what is in all this information? I'm sure it is a wealth of knowledge.
Absolutely. I think on the other side of every one of our frustrations, God gives each of us a frustration only we are dealing with. The call is on the other side of that. So when I was searching for material on how to succeed in business God's way, I started YouTubing, right? Like
Okay.
all the
Yes.
universities. And you know what? I couldn't find anything. Like there really wasn't much. If you search up how to succeed God's way or how to make money God's way, any of these, kind of here and there, there's some things. But if you look up just how to succeed, period, there's a treasure trove of stuff. And I
Right.
felt I was complaining to the Lord one day. I'm just like, why isn't this out there? And I felt the Lord was saying, well, if it's not out there, why don't you go fill it in? And I'm like, okay, how do I do that? And I just started
Right.
searching for that. So, what the course is, it will show you how to set goals God's way, because it all starts with the vision. All right, we are creators like God in that sense. But how do you hear from God? How do you put that down? How do you start to bring that into reality? How do you partner with the Holy Spirit in doing things? This is how I describe how to succeed God's way. We're obedient to what He said, we partner with him in what we do, and we do it all for his glory. That's succeeding God's way. And if you do those things, there is an anointing and there is a difference. Because just like when Moses and Aaron went to Egypt and they were talking to the pharaohs, I don't know if you recall the story, but they're going up against the magicians and the sorcerers, and they're like, my staff can turn into a snake. Moses and Aaron throw theirs down, turn into a snake. And then the sorcerers do the same thing, and it turned into a snake. So they can replicate what God can do. However, Moses's staff ate up theirs. And what I'm
Okay.
saying is God's principles work better with the king himself in it. So what you start to realize is if you align yourself with his principles, with him, with his ways, and you do it for his glory, then you start to see a different type of blessing and prosperity in your life. So that's what the course goes through. I coached a group of people through it. They literally, I charged them 5 figures for this. And at the end, I felt the Lord say, just give it away. So I put it in
After
the
all that
book.
work.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's been so fun.
Okay, wonderful. And is it my understanding that you might be able to offer my viewers some of this course and information?
Absolutely. So grab the link. It'll probably be in the caption somewhere, but
Okay.
it'll be, you can grab the book for free. It's my course material, literally walk you through. It's like 12 lessons. It'll walk you through A to Z, biblical stuff, everything. Grab that. You can grab that for free. And if you want to, there's also for a limited time, I took the actual video transcripts of the live coaching that I did with this
Oh,
group
wow.
and put it together into a video course. And I'm just putting it's like $97 or something. So you can add that in as well too. It
Okay.
speeds up. Here's an interesting fact, by the way. Did you know that when you put video learning and reading together, you amplify your speed of retention by 65%?
Wow, that's incredible. 65%. Okay.
Yes. So both together are super good. So grab whatever one that it is. And I'm excited for your God story on that.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I was wondering if you could give 2 tips each for 2 tips for people that are just starting the Slenderiiz Drops and 2 tips for people that are doing the business.
For the Slenderiiz Drops, if I could do it all over again, I would have gone all in, been diligent right away. Because when I
Okay.
first started, I kind of did it and I kind of didn't. I kind of followed the list. I kind of didn't. And I got results still. That's what's cool. It's like a very forgiving program. But if I were to do it all again, might as well, if you're going to take the opportunity to purchase this and invest in yourself, do it by the book, just how it's supposed to be, and have the full experience. That'd be tip number one.
Okay.
Tip number two would be I would really also understand the why behind the what. I believe it gets you better results that are long lasting. Our goal is not to just give a quick fix. Our goal is to be able to give you a lifestyle and empower you so that you can take your wellness into your own hands. So, following people like yourself, Amy, to just understand how homeopathy works. When you understand the why, then the what becomes a lot easier. So, when I know what ashwagandha does because of the things that you have in your book, or when I understand what is homeopathy itself and how does the dilution work and all this, or what does succussing mean and all of this, I'm like, it gets me confidence so
Right.
that I can keep on moving forward through my health journey itself. So that's the wellness side.
Okay.
Business side, the first tip would be the same. Actually,
Okay.
it's the exact same stuff. It's the exact same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So do it by the T, follow the system, and
Okay.
follow proven mentors and learn the why behind
Okay.
what it is that they're doing. Not just the what. I think we are in a time now where we are kind of in a society where it's easy to copy paste. Like content is easy to get these days. Information is easy to get these days. So what makes you different in the world is not the things that are easily copy pasteable, but
Right.
it's like what Solomon did. It's the wisdom that's behind it. So the only way you'll get wisdom is if you ask the why. So if you ask, why am I doing business this way? Or why am I, if you're doing social media, why am I posting this way? Or why does my leader do this? If you start becoming inquisitive and to understand the psychology and the philosophy that drives the action, then this way, regardless of the circumstances you're in, you'll be able to take the right path to be able to move to success.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Yes. And Amy, you got to talk too, though, because as you're learning from me, maybe some, I learned so much from you. I'm so excited because you just put together something really cool as well, too, for those that want to really master homeopathy and all this. Is that right?
Yes. So I have developed a Health is Wealth homeopathy course. It's 9 modules. And
Wow.
so I have my book available. It's full, vibrant, colorful pictures because I'm a visual person. And so many of the books that I've read have been they get a little dry after a while, and I need that pop, right, to keep me going. But also I wanted the content that was easy to find. I put lots of links in there. So I go over everything from remedies, how homeopathy is made, what kits to buy. Then I go over various issues like headaches, what to do if you have a broken bone. What do you take? And then we even go over some protocols, and then I give even resources and links, and then even expanding your homeopathy journey. So I have the book, and then I have a 9 module course where I either
Wow.
walk three people through it on Zoom or an in-person class. And then I also have a self-paced class and a
Wow.
school group that facilitates even more than that.
Wow. So if I walk in and I take any one of those modalities, what do you think the greatest things I would get from it would be if there was a top maybe three?
Oh, from any kind of homeopathy? Well, I would say my general thought process is I'm teaching people to move away from pharmaceuticals
Mm,
to natural medicine and having confidence in that. So that
mm,
would, and confidence to treat their family and treat their animals and even plants. So there is a whole
wow.
component of plants, and we don't go into that in deep detail, but I give you resources to, like, if you needed more information and open up your mind to understand, wow, I don't have to. I used to run to Walgreens and all the time and
Mm,
just fill up my cart and come home. There's a better way to do this with just a few remedies to be able to treat. So that would be one of my top ones. And then
wow.
two, I'm really big into educating our children and our
Mm,
youth. And so not just handing them something, but walking them through, how is it made? What is it? What are your options? So my kids can go grab, if they're feeling sick, they can go grab ferrum phosphoricum. And I find there's an empty bottle. What happened? Why didn't they wait?
mm,
They were taking this. So I want them to learn that. So that's would probably be number two for me. And number three, like I said, is just changing that mindset, especially for people that are taking the drops or are selling them. I want people to understand the homeopathic side because there's so many nuances and details where we can help people along in their journey. And I'll just
mm,
give one example. For example, if somebody's starting to have some nausea or whatever it might be, I can easily send them to Sprouts or somewhere, or King Supers, whatever, to get a $10 Nux Vomica bottle that's naturally made to help them with that process, to help them get over that hump. And
mm.
then to explain what's happening with their body and what the homeopathy is doing so they can look for different issues. Does that make
Wow.
sense?
Yeah. So basically, I can be empowered to be my own best holistic doctor at home. That's nice.
Absolutely. And so the savings that people see, because you just don't have to, the savings in time and money is huge. You
Mm,
don't have to spend as much time in medical offices, and not that medical offices aren't good, but my time is valuable, right?
hmm,
Where I can just pivot and give them what they need. If I go to the doctor and then all of a sudden the cold changes, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is happening. I have to make another appointment, right? And then I have to deal with insurance and send in all that paperwork. Where if I had a kit, I can open up the kit and say, oh gosh, your cough went from a dry cough to a wet cough. I'll get you this remedy. Try this one. And
mm.
it's empowering you to be able to have that information and empowering the people around you to be able to use that. So
Wow.
I just
Wow.
see huge savings as far as people with vet bills, with medical
Mm,
bills, with even, like I said, pharmaceuticals over
yeah.
the counter or prescribed, because you don't have to, not that those aren't needed, but you don't
Yeah.
have to rely on them as much.
Love that. That costs a lot of money, and that
Yes.
sounds really good. Congratulations on that.
Oh, thank
It's going to be
you.
amazing. Absolutely.
Yes. Yes, well, I so appreciate that. So, anyway, I'll put the links for that in the video as well. And I am just so grateful for your time, James. I know that you are a very busy man, so thank you for taking this precious time to meet with us. And I look forward to hopefully seeing you in Destin.
Let's go. Thank you. So appreciate you.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.